Well, my name's Dan Dix. I run a website called Press4Truth.ca, and I am currently in Lisbon, Portugal, to cover the annual Bilderberg conference. The reason why I think it's important to do this is because we're quite literally talking about some of the world's most powerful and influential people, meeting behind closed doors, essentially discussing the fate of the world. So this is something that I think people should be privy to. There's more journalists on the inside of this building than there are currently on the outside. So that's why I think it's important to give the public a proper view of what's actually happening here. So I'm just here to document it, maybe get some discrepancies in the official participants list, and yeah, just kind of document the whole event.
Okay, so the journalists on the inside, surely they're blogging about what's going on.
Well, unfortunately, they are under something called Chatham House rules. They are under rules of very strict secrecy. On the inside, we're talking Financial Times, we're talking The Economist, we're talking The Atlantic, we're talking Bloomberg. We're talking some of the most powerful and influential media organizations who have clearly been instructed, mum is the word, and that just really adds a lot, asks, many more questions.
Well, they say they put out a list, we put out an agenda, everyone knows what this is about.
Yes, well, it's only in recent years that I think they've kind of been forced to sort of hide in plain sight, if you will. They've been meeting since 1954. This idea of printing the list and being transparent is really something new. And that's because of the age of, the technology that we have at the power of our fingertips. We can now expose them with something as simple as a cell phone, Not long ago would take news vans and editing vans and satellite dishes and millions of dollars. We can now quite literally do with the technology we have in our fingertips.
Yeah, if you go to Bilderberg meetings, you can see a list of people who are supposed to be in there, but we had a photograph of Yuval Noah Harari, for example, turning up, as we've got a storm going around the Western media all about artificial intelligence. Funny that he should show up here.
Well, big tech
But he's not on the list.
Right. Well, this is why it's important to document the participants that are officially on this list, because we often do find that some people are left out. And when you find out who those key people are, you can have a better idea of what the actual topics on the agenda are. So, it's great that we've already started to figure that out here. So.
Okay, so how do people follow your work, Dan?
Press4Truth.ca is probably the best site. I've been kicked off of YouTube, but I now post to a number of platforms, Odyssey and BitChute and Rumble, and about 7 or 8 different platforms. They can all be found on Press4Truth.ca.
Okay, Dan Dix, thanks very much for joining us.
For sure.